What are you, you strange elongated eel-like creature of the deep? You are a ray-finned fish from the family Zoarchidae. Your dorsal and anal fins are continuous with your caudal fin.
The eelpout is technically a marine fish. About 220 species exist, whereas the burbet is a true freshwater fish found in lakes and streams above about the 40th latitude in Europe and North America.
Prized by some, but despised by most, you ply the cold waters of the north, and you are misunderstood by all who live above the ice. You have been called the eelpout, but you are so much more.
Mardi Gras! 3, 2, 1, let it go!
What we have up here, to my mind, is cryogenic hysteria, where you become insane in the winter. And it's an insanity that you can master, but it's too dark, it's too long, and you have to find ways to adapt.
And every once in a while, I suppose you might want to call it a fissure that opens up and allows all this exuberance, all of this pent up emotion and worry and stress and strain to come to the surface. And there's a little bit of crazy making that goes on.
How do you love anyone, baby? You know that I have from the start. Fill me up, don't break my heart.
The very first annual Eelpout Festival had less than 300 people at it. So it's actually grown into quite the festival. And, you know, on the average, depending on the weather and snow conditions and that sort of thing, we'll see anywhere from 9 to 18,000 people. That's the estimate for this past festival. So.
When I first went to it, I was fascinated because they literally moved the town onto the lake, replete with street signs, the sheriff's office. They, have streets of people are residing in their ice shacks and facade kinds of hovels on this lake, and there are holes everywhere with lines going in to try and snag a poor hapless eelpout. What's really interesting about this is that even the name eelpout has been appropriated, just like the living space on the lake has been appropriated for this festival. What they're fishing for is burbet, and that is a relation. It's an inland cod that got cut off from its marine family, and it evolved and adapted over time. And it's interesting that this fish should be the sort of the connector, the focal point of this festival, because it really speaks to seasons, it speaks to adaptation, it speaks to a humbleness of character, because the burbet is quite a humble fish.
The Eelpout Festival, it's not like Mardi Gras, where this is before some long period of austerity. It's more of a bacchanal after some long period of austerity, and in this case, darkness and cold. And of course, one of the primary tools of adaptation in the climate and a situation like this is alcohol.
Yeah!
Did you know that the burbet liver makes up approximately 10% of the fish's total body weight? And its liver is 6 times the size of those of freshwater fish of comparable size? Yes.
In fact, the liver of the burbot contains 3 to 4 times the potency of vitamin D and 4 to 10 times the amount of vitamin A found in a good grade cod liver oil.
I'm not cold.
You're not cold, I'm fucking freezing.
No, enough antifreeze, we're good.
So you put together this kind of volatile gruel of alcohol, too long a winter, too much cold, and a very ugly fish. And you produce something that is, well, it's mildly unholy in its existence, but it is us.
Well, it's a good time to get out with your friends and enjoy a few beers together.
We don't have a jail per se out here, so everybody's on their honor system.
Well, there are some sanctioned events, and there are a lot of unsanctioned activities, as we call them. And the sanctioned ones we kind of control. The unsanctioned ones happen out on the ice, and it's just people having fun and doing their own thing. And there's a great sense of camaraderie between the people that show up for the event. A lot of them pull their fish houses out to the ice, and they stay right on the ice, and they eat, drink, and be merry.
3 years that we've come and put up the shack. So Bemidji Street Powders, we got about 17 members right now. Here we got a new addition. This is our deer bong.
Red eye.
It lights up. Eyes and nose lights up. Put the drink through here. We got a shut off.
We are at Eelpout 31.
3.
The polar pout plunge, which they called it this year because there were some naming rights issues, started out as the polar plunge. I think this was their 6th or 7th annual. Last year there was 300, and I think they average a couple hundred people that jump through a hole cut in the ice into the lake and then are assisted out. It's grown into people wearing costumes and getting their own sponsors, and they all like to ham it up a little bit, so you see a little bit of everything.
Feel my eel.
Gotcha.
And pet my pout with an arrow.
Well,
But I have to say, when I've gone to it, I've enjoyed it. I don't think I'd want to go twice, but I enjoy it. I enjoy seeing the stolid, severe northern Minnesotans just cutting loose. I would like it if they weren't cutting loose quite so much around beer cans and beer bottles that they're tossing onto the ice, but they're having fun. And fun is not our strong suit up here. So you go there, and if you give yourself over to it, it puts a smile on your face because it's ridiculous. And at the end of the winter, you want to have a smile on your face because you haven't found a whole lot of things to keep your teeth from being gritted, because the whole winter has been surviving with huddled, hunched. I can beat this thing, and all of a sudden here you've got this crazy event out in the middle of a lake. Where people are doing almost anything they want, and a lot of things where you want to tell the children, avert your eyes. You don't need to see this, young lady or young man, and you certainly don't want to become this.
They stole my handcuffs.
The burbot is a voracious predator. As juveniles, they eat things like aquatic insects, but once they're a little bit larger, they'll eat just about anything.
They're piscivorous, they'll eat small fishes.
That can include game fish, things that game fish eat.
It's benthically oriented, that means it stays down on the bottom.
Even the occasional rodent, wood chip, or rocks have been found in their guts.
I think they're actually a really attractive fish too, but not many people do, but I think they're really attractive.
I think a burbot would be a very oily type of person. I don't know that I would trust them very well, specifically around small children. They might eat them.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're part of the community just like all the other fishes.
One of the ways that you survive in an environment like this is having a pretty delicious sense of irony. You have to be able to laugh at your own hysteria. You can't allow yourself to be as angry and depressed as you would get if you really opened yourself to that. You have to have this sense of irony. You have to have a sense of humor about yourself. And what is a better metaphor for having a sense of humor about yourself than having a festival for what you celebrate is catching the ugliest fish that you can find on the planet.
What do you think, bud? Huh? That one is 638.
Another awful day, another lonely night. I should have just stayed home. This isn't going right. Feel like I don't fit in.
This festival is very much a people's festival. And everybody enjoys it, and there's all kinds of things that go on, and the sheriff is kept busy. But people have good fun there too, and it's family fun. And that's an important part of this, is the family character to all of this. And the fact that no matter where people live in the community, they're welcome on the ice.
Now, after decades of extinction in the United Kingdom and other European countries, surveys show that more than 90% of anglers would support the reintroduction of the burbot back into their rivers and fisheries. Welcome home, burbot. We embrace your piscivorous and benthically oriented ways.
There's one. That doesn't feel too bad. Load that jig up really good, and he come right in and smacked it. There he is. There's a nice little one. They are a beautiful fish. Oh, I can't even hardly hold on to him. He is really strong. Pretty slippery. Whoa!
Don't lose that fish, Tommy.
All right.
Oh, man, there you go. Nuggets tonight.
Look at that. Just dripping with slime. Man, oh man, are they slimy. Yeah.
That is some slime. Look
It
how
is.
they generate all that. That's incredible.